Hello. Welcome everyone to another episode of Role Playing Guys. This is Spencer happening here for another quick intro. As you know, this is our first episode and our first look into the game D12 Go, a one-shot indie game sent to us from the incomparable Brad Zimmerman. You may already know him from listening to his wonderful podcast, The Fate of Ice, and if you're looking to support indie game developers, we have some recommendations games that we have already played and tested for you. We encourage you to check out The Flying Circus, Cool and Leather Courage, Power Outages Suited, and Elfenfolk. We have episodes of us playing these games that are posted online, and you can find if any of these games strike your fancy. You can purchase these games on DriveThruRPG or itch.io. Thank you so much to our patrons over the Patreon, Brad, Joel, Steven, Mr. Guy. You are the mint flavor to our toothpaste. Without you, we'd be a flavorless and formless mess. That's all I have. Let's get to the episode.
Well, welcome everyone to another episode of the Role Playing Guide. Are we calling this season 9, or is it kind of like a mini season?
The finale.
The finale, yeah.
I guess the finale
works,
season,
yeah.
really.
The farewell.
The farewell season. I am Nick. I'm going to be the GM for this season, where we're going to be playing a game called D12 Go, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But with me, as our players, is Rebecca.
Hey. Do I need to introduce who I'm playing yet?
Let's do that later. Tyler.
Hello.
You're back
and
already?
Spencer.
Oh yeah, dude. The bathroom's just like right over here.
No washes.
And then of
No
course
washing
Spencer.
those hands.
Yeah, I'm Spencer. I'm here. I do wash my hands.
I'd like to build my immune system up, so I don't want to.
All right, so, so we are going to, so for this sort of finale season, which is only going to be, I guess we'll say 2 to 3 sessions. I'm not entirely sure. Probably no more than 3 sessions. I'm planning on about 2, but we'll see. We're playing a game called D12 Go. For the longest time, our friend over at the Fate of Eisen podcast, Brad, he's been making this game, D12 Go, and for a while he's been asking us to play it, and we finally I guess the reason it took so long was that either we were already playing another game or attempting another game, or he was he was still tweaking it or something. It was one or the other until finally we decided this would be a good way to see off our podcast, to play a little mini adventure in this. It's going to be a mini adventure kind of, partly because this is a pretty small game. The rules, I don't know if the rules is a good way to put it. The entire game takes up about 18 pages, but the rules itself takes the first
about 6.
6.
If you were to
pages.
condense it, about
the rest
6.
of it is optional rules,
appendices,
and other appendices, tables, GM tools, that kind of thing. So so we're excited, very happy to
Logos.
We're happy to finally be playing this. Also, I believe the logo on the document was by our very own Paul in the Necropodon podcast, which is kind of cool.
It's a cutie.
But yeah, so basically, it's called D12 Go because, it's probably a bit self-explanatory. The idea is that you can just take a D12 with 12-sided dice and go and play. Pretty much, you don't really have to have any prior setup or prior understanding of the rules.
Or other dice, even.
Pretty much.
I thought it was just, you go 12 times and then you're good.
But yeah, you really just need a D12 for this. Character creation is pretty straightforward. There's actually one thing about character creation here that I really, really like. We were kind of reminded a little bit of Suited in a sense, which, it's probably going to be the same for a lot of very small tabletop RPGs. But what I really like about it is that, so there are 6 stats. There's agility, bond, brains, brawn, precision, and senses. I think they're all pretty self-explanatory, except that bond is how you interact with other people, and actually healing is part of bond. And then senses is your 5 basic senses. You might say perception or investigating, that kind of thing. But everything else, agility, brains, brawn, and precision, I think are fairly self-explanatory for what they
What
represent.
does brawn mean?
Brawn would be your toughness, your hardiness,
Your
and your
beefiness.
strength. I guess actually it's kind of representing.
I think it needs to be changed to beefiness. I think you're right, Spencer.
You think so? Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it is interesting in that it actually does stand. It does represent your physical strength as well as actually a bit of your constitution, your wellness as well. But to create a character, first of all, you need to have a level 1 character, a stat total of +2. You can have all your stats in any number you want, but they all have to equal +2. So,
and you can't have any -2s. You have to have at least a -1.
And you can't have any more than +3, if I remember.
Right, yeah. So one of the examples they gave was that the agility +1, bond and brains were +0, brawn was +2, so that's a total of 3. Precision was +0, but senses was -1, bringing it down to 2. So if you want to have more than 2 points, 2 positive points across your stats, you have to reduce some other ones, which I think is really interesting. It's really just a stat total of +2. And then you have something called specialties, which are basically the special skills or attributes. And they can be anything you want. Maritime expertise, lockpicking, parkour, whatever. You get 7 points to spend on these.
It's similar to Numenera in that way, because Numenera is also an open-ended skill set or specialty set where you can do any talent, essentially, is a specialty.
Yeah, Numenera and Suited, I think both are pretty open regarding skills and specialties and how you can assign them. But you can't have any, for a level 1 character, you can't have any single specialty higher than +3 with a bonus. And you have a total of 7 specialty points to spend on them. And then, basically you can have any items that you think your character would reasonably have in their possession. Maybe like a basic weapon, some armor, or maybe a few tools and things like that. There aren't any mechanical bonuses, or just narrative. And then the quote-unquote hit points in this game is called limit. And your limit is 2 plus your brawn score. So if someone has a brawn of +2, then a level 1 character would have a limit of 4. Yeah, there you go. And the limit kind of comes into play. Limit has to do with your physical and mental and emotional state, basically. It represents more than just health points.
In addition to so Nick has summarized really well what the character creation process is. This game, like Nick mentioned, and the name establishes, it provides you with everything that you need to just pick it up and actually be able to play. Without doing any preparation beforehand even. So it provides you with a section called Extra Bits, which gives you a random story generator as well. I don't know if you wanted to talk about that, Nick?
Yeah, certainly. In the sort of in the extra bits especially for the GM, and actually Brad suggested to me that that this is how we sort of set up the game. There is a table for the setting specifically. It's a D12 table where you set up an enemy, a situation, a location, and a random important item upon which you can build off an adventure, which is exactly what I did. You could have, for example, and this is just a random example, you could have monsters draining a secret military base. And the secret special item would be a surgical mask. I roll a D12 for each of those, and that's randomly what I got. For the scenario we're going to play, I already rolled ahead of time, and what I got was pirates polluting an enchanted forest. And the random important item was torn leather jacket. And so I come up with that kind of mishmash of stuff. I've come up with, I think, might be something fun and slightly coherent. We'll see. And then there's also a random character generator, and if your story's in full swing and you need to kind of inject a bit of plot, there are some random plot ideas in there. And they have a few pre-made foes for each enemy type as well, which is really helpful. So that's essentially what I did. I took the pirates polluting an enchanted forest and
went crazy.
Sorry if you feel that was spoilers, but yeah, and I came up with something based off of that. So I think now with that, and any other mechanics with unopposed rolls and opposed rolls and things like that, we'll deal with as we go along. So let's have the players introduce the characters they made. I'll let you guys choose who you want to go first.
Who's going first?
I, Tyler, am playing Truffles the Shroom Man.
Do you want to explain Truffles?
Truffles is 6 inches tall. He's a mushroom, sentient mushroom, and he likes to do the truffle shuffle.
Call back to Goonies.
I know, call back to Goonies. He sucks at everything except for brains. And he has Sporemancy as a skill, so he's able to use magic fungus to help him. And I guess I have a spore staff, like a little fungus staff, and a herbalist pack, and a jar of fungus, and some satchels to help me carry all my goodies. That's Truffles the Shroom
Does he
Man.
look like Toad from Mario?
Oh, yeah! That's gonna be my voice!
We're really
Oh,
trying to
dear
abuse the
goodness
ears of
gracious, help
listeners.
No, I would imagine him being slightly more fungus looking than Toad. Toad's almost like human in a way, like a little child.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very childlike.
So a little more like a Myconid in D&D, maybe.
Yes, I would. I don't know what that is because
You don't know what a Myconid is?
Nope.
You've been playing D&D for this long and you don't know what a Myconid is?
never killed one of those, so don't know what it is.
Okay.
I've
well,
been playing D&D for a while, but I mean, it's not like I play
There's
it
a
every
lot.
single day, Nick. And I
You
haven't
used
played.
to
I
play it
haven't
every
played
week.
D&D in years. Years.
Oh, really? Oh, well. We might need to,
Since I was
might
back
need
in
to fix that in our own time after this episode, after this little mini season. But anyway, okay, so Truffles. Very good. Who would like to go next?
Yes.
Yeah,
those-
Spencer found a picture of a Myconid. So
He looks like he looks a little bit more friendlier than that, but he's like 6 inches tall, so probably not the same.
I can go next.
okay, Rebecca.
What is that thing?
I think this is the weirdest character I've ever played. But that's
Yeah.
okay.
Right next to
That's perfect.
Spencer's character and Truffles the Shroom
Yep.
Man, I think.
Great.
Truffles.
We're just pulling out all the stops
We're
here.
going all out on this
I-
one. we pulled out all the stops.
Well, the game kind of
Right?
makes you do that. So
Yeah, the game is great. It encourages that.
It's not my fault. It's the game. Dang
And I think it's also like Brad and the Fate of Ison group's like sense of humor too. Like they tend to be a bit more on the silly side, which I like
Yeah,
sometimes.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, so I play Hannah, who is a talking fox that used to be a girl. She is a denizen of the Enchanted Forest. She trespassed on a witch's property and got turned into a fox.
Classic.
Is
All,
she Naruto?
We've all been there.
What?
Is she
Is
Naruto?
she Naruto?
No, she's like legit just a talking fox.
There we go. Hannah the Fox.
So is it like Robin Hood
Okay.
from the 1950s? That was when it
Is
was
it a
released.
humanoid
1950s version, the Disney version.
No, she's literally just a fox.
God.
That used to be a girl.
That walks around on 2 legs.
And can still talk. No,
Just straight up 4 legs. And
just a fox.
Just straight up fox.
what is she good at?
She's good at sneaking, wit, and dodging.
Does she have any items?
Nope.
She's got
She's a
paws.
fox.
I told you, this is like the weirdest character I've ever done, but whatever.
Poofy tail. No, not even a poofy tail.
What about like a cool braid?
Sure.
A Jedi braid.
She's just...
Jedi braids.
All right, and last but certainly not or maybe least, Spencer.
I'm playing Dr. Grabbles.
Oh, it's Dr.
PhD.
Grabbles. Okay.
Dr. Grabbles is exactly what you'd expect him to be. I feel that name explains and describes him incredibly well. He is somewhat agile, but his real skill is his ability to grapple and to throw things. And with that, he has a rope and he has like grappling hooks as well that he's able to shoot out to assist in his grabbing business. Not like that in, an okay grabbing way.
Like Scorpion Mortal Kombat, like get over here as I'm like gonna...
Kind of Doc Ock style too from Spider-Man. Just any type of grappling hook, kind of Batman style with his bat grappling hook. Just Dr. Grabbles PhD knows what he's doing. Don't worry.
He is PhD on grabbing.
Yes.
And throwing.
Can I actually make an amendment to my character's background?
What?
I want her. She's a witch who was doing a self-transformation into a fox, and she can't fix it.
That works.
I feel like we've really just like gone straight like Ghibli in
That
all
felt
this
very
here.
Ghibli.
Actually, no.
Like just in general, like mushroom person, weird scientist something or other, fox, enchanted forest. Enchanted forest is being polluted.
Who said anything
as well.
about a scientist?
Yeah, a doctor.
Dr. Grabbles PhD. We have not defined what the PhD is in. It could be anything.
Well.
All right.
It could be. He could be a
Good.
PhD in Latin American studies. He could be
whatever you want.
But yeah,
He could be a
basically,
PhD.
we basically have some sort of like
arts.
crazy doctor of some kind. We got Kiki delivery service turned into a fox, and then we got this little mushroom person.
Truffles, please.
Truffles.
Along with the some Nausicaa Valley of the Winds polluted forest.
Mononoke as well.
I think it's great. We have.
Castle in the Sky Pirates.
We haven't-
all the boxes.
Oh yeah, we haven't gotten this Ghibli since Flying Circus, so I think it's
That's
great.
true.
No, I blew it all up. That was great.
It's been a while since we got there.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm certainly not complaining. Unless Spencer wanted to elaborate any more on his character, I think those are our three characters in this little story.
Dr. Grabbles PhD is exactly what you'd expect of him. And I think that's the only way to describe him.
It's hard for me to know what to expect, but we'll see. I'm going to say that here at the beginning of in the beginning of this adventure. So each of you, Truffles the Shroom Man, Dr. Grabbles PhD, and Hannah, you're all sort of going about your business for whatever reason in this enchanted forest.
Oh yeah, I love me that enchanted forest. Mm-hmm.
And like you heard of some you heard of like you're not necessarily like in the heart of the enchanted forest. You're just kind of like somewhere kind of in sort of like the outer rim areas and whatever. You each have heard of like problems elsewhere, but it's kind of not your problem right now. Because everything looks fine from where you are. The enchanted forest is, what you'd expect from an enchanted forest. It's not really like bewitching any of you per se. It's just that each of the plants is definitely a lot more vibrant. Some are even a bit like more luminous. There's like a luminescence to some of the trees and the plants and some of the leaves, which you can notice even during the daytime.
When the light strikes through the breaks in the branches, does it like glitter a little bit too?
Oh yeah, it glitters all the time. Like there's always glitter in the air. You can't really see it.
But it doesn't like get on you, right?
It gets in your lungs.
No, it doesn't. It's enchanted glitter.
Oh, my asthma!
Like that's the enchanted part of it.
It still wonders for my lungs. If I had any.
But yeah, it just sort of gives everything more of a vibrancy and glitziness and a shine to everything and to the whole forest, as well as a mystique to it. But in any case, each of you have been like unwittingly, each of you have been wandering around in the forest, and none of you have noticed that each of you have been somehow either drawn to or accidentally or coincidentally ended up at the same clearing, and neither of you have seen each other yet. But all of a sudden, a flash of light, brighter than usual, happens in the clearing. And you hear this voice, "Ah, the three adventurers I was looking for."
Dr. Grabbles PhD is most intrigued.
And each of you see this figure before you notice any of the other two characters. But you notice a tall figure in white. He's got white hair, white robes, got a white like academic cap, like one of those sort of like hexagonal or octagonal caps that PhD people would wear. Except it's all white with a bit of like gold and stuff and cream color. He's got white horns as well, kind of like looping around his hat. And he's floating probably about a foot in the air at this point.
Are you God?
Were you going to say something special? To that, the figure responds, I am not. I'm quite the opposite, actually. I am a demon.
Oh.
But not just any demon. For you see, most demons would not be able to handle the sort of the concentration of magic within this forest. No, my name is Melani, and I am what you might call a sort of a mentor, a demon mentor in this forest. And I have been hoping and waiting for the longest time in my studies, studying the possibilities of chance and circumstance and magic and enchantments, to bring the three most capable adventurers to this very spot, to call them to, well, an adventure of which I believe the need is most dire.
Are we sure that this isn't Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park who studied chaos theory?
I don't know.
Is this Dr. Grabbles PhD?
No, this is Spencer asking about this.
Yeah, I figured,
but Dr. Grabbles could ask, are you sure you're not Jeff Goldblum from the Jurassic Park series?
I know not of which you speak.
Delightful.
You're very knowledgeable.
But will you, each of you, all three of you, hear my plea? And this is the first time that any of you have noticed the other two, by the way.
Oh,
that you realize
a talking mushroom.
and not look at a person that doesn't look like anything. I can't tell what you are.
Well, that's the nicest way somebody has described me. And a fox. I'm sorry, is this included in your capable adventurers? I'm sorry, when I talk, I have to be bobbling around. That's the only way to do his voice.
Your question is interesting, but I will tell you that I have absolutely no doubt about the extreme amount of confidence and faith I have in each and every one of you. Yes, including the fox.
Oh.
Brilliant, the fox laughs.
I mean, I don't know if I can do much, but I'll do my best to help.
And it speaks?
That is all anyone can hope for, yes. I have every confidence that you will succeed. None of you have answered my question, however. Will you hear the call to action that I have to give to you?
That's what I just said.
Oh, well, what about the rest of you?
Call of the wild, if you will.
Call to action. Although I guess this isn't a forest. You could say it's in the wild, I suppose.
I got a Sporvella at like 7 o'clock. Is it going to take more time?
That depends on you. For the journey is ahead, and who knows what twists and turns may befall you. But I do know this. Once you leave, you will never be the same.
I never am the same from one scene to the next anyway. I'll accept.
Well, that works very well for you, doesn't it?
I don't got a lot going for me right now, so I guess it can only go up.
Truffles points at him, snaps his fingers, and says,
Son of a gun, I'm in.
And what about you, Dr. Grabbles, fellow PhD?
As one PhD to another, I have to acquiesce to thine request. That
okay,
means
the thine
yes.
thing was a bit much.
Ooh,
But,
gotcha.
Burn.
All right, excellent. So, I have become aware of, and perhaps you have as well, of some, well, of a malady that is starting to plague certain parts of this forest.
No,
Melani knows of a malady.
I know a really
Well-
good melody, though.
Would that a melody could fix all this problem? No, you see, as you know, this is an enchanted forest, and one of the many things enchanted about it, besides the air suffused with magical glitter, which I find very delightful.
It's nice on the pores.
It is impossible to burn this forest. Actually, the forest cannot be damaged by fire, magical or otherwise, which is rather wonderful. There are a lot of things that would otherwise be flammable. However, it has come to my attention that when you do set things on fire within this forest, it actually does. Although it does not react to the wood and the leaves and the branches and the ground, it does react, in fact, to the air around it. The once sparkly air becomes ashen, and it poisons the air around you, and affects the creatures and to some degree the plants as well. A great deal of fire, such as had never been seen before in the forest, have appeared towards the center, and no one has done anything about it these past several days. I would like you three to venture forth and discover who or what is causing it, and to take actually, I misspoke. I do have some idea of who or what is causing it, but I only have a name. The name of this dreaded creature, or whatever it might be, is the Apatuta. This is a very serious business. I know not what this creature is. The Apatuta is to blame for this. If you can find it, deal with it, perhaps. Stop these fires from happening and corrupting the enchanted air of this enchanted forest. The Apatuta, I believe, has in his possession an artifact known as the Jack of Diamonds.
Dude.
I think it would be best for you to collect this Jack of Diamonds, whatever it may be, so that the Apatuta may not have the power it currently possesses.
We can get him some beano
There's something
or something
funny.
Nope. 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 This is a very serious matter, and we'll do our best.
I expect nothing less from such great travelers and adventurers such as yourselves.
Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing
Why
what?
are you solving this puzzle? This flatulent puzzle.
I don't know what flatulence has to do with this, but I have... well, you see, I don't believe that I am quite worthy or capable of solving the problem myself.
Well, we shouldn't
still
have
have-
so much self-loathing in the enchanted forest.
Well, the enchanted forest is... I did tell you that most demons do not enter this forest for, it disgusts most of them. I am trying to reform myself in my self-exilement. I feel I still have a long way to go before I can partake in any adventures such as this myself.
What did you do that was so bad?
He's a demon.
Was a demon. Well, still am. But I think that should be self-explanatory.
What's in the past is in the past.
He litters on the ground and he puts his gum under chairs and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, do you two know each other? You seem to have an extensive amount of knowledge regarding Melani's background.
I'm just guessing.
It is Melani, thank you very much.
Melani!
But
We gotta go find the tutor. You want to go find the tutor, Mr.
the Apatuta is the correct term, if I'm not
The
mistaken.
secret tutor.
The secret tutor.
No, I'm a mentor and a tutor.
A private-
Look for the Apatuta,
A
please.
private tutor, if you will.
He does it.
Well, I guess
he
that would
toots
describe me as well, but-
secretly, like most of us.
Most of us who understand good manners.
I'm gonna probably opportune her right now.
Well, that is one way of doing it.
Sorry.
Fox.
but it was just
Fox, are you capable
I gotta
of
say,
opportunity?
I did not intend for these types of jokes to prevail here. Although I was wondering if it would happen. But hey, you know
can't
what?
dangle such low-hanging fruit.
That's a really easy one for me to get at.
Fox, are you capable of opportuning?
It would. You know what? It would. You know, when you find out like what this thing means or stands for or whatever or what it is, I think it'll be all the funnier when you realize that it's a lot more coincidence than you might realize. But anyway,
Okay, let's go, guys.
any questions from any of you?
Which way are we going?
Paid.
You'll be paid by the goodwill and gratitude of the enchanted forest, of course.
But which way are we going? Or did you already say and I wasn't
Towards the
paying attention?
center of the forest.
Oh,
And he
okay.
points-
Which way is that?
I mean, he directs it. He
Oh,
points his
okay.
arm.
You just
toward-
gotta follow the toots.
Follow the scent of the
Follow your nose.
Well, whatever works, I suppose.
Do we have any sort of a map, perhaps? To keep us going in the right direction?
Or a trail?
There is no map of the forest.
Okay, well,
Just follow the
wish
sun.
us luck. I have terrible direction sense.
I have some survival
Again,
skills.
are you capable of anything, Fox? I apologize
So
for this.
Melani
This
says,
sounds
"I have
incredibly
complete
rude,
and
but
utter faith."
Can
I-
you do anything? I don't mean to attack you so.
I'm really good at sneaking, and I'm still working on a spell.
A spell, as in
Melani says,
singular.
I have complete faith that you will succeed. Please go forth. And I look forward to seeing your successful adventure unfold before you.
Off I go.
Okay,
I crop
alright,
dust the demon.
Well, I must say,
Okay.
if Melani already has faith, they really are turning over a new leaf. That's impressive.
And if any of you look back, you see Melani has disappeared, but you continue forward.
I didn't look. Did anyone?
Yeah, I didn't look either. I just kept walking.
Nope, I'm just like...
All right, cool. Then only the audience and like those in the
he
real
disappeared
world
like
know
a fart in the
Got him.
wind. Or a toot in the wind.
Okay. All right. So, as you all sort of continue forward, knowing it, you didn't have a lot to go on.
No,
but
not at all.
However, I think this would call for a some kind of like a senses related check as you look around for possible relevant clues as you journey forward.
Sweet. Well, I have a
So
+1 in survival.
So this is an unopposed action from each of you. Essentially, so each of you are going to roll a d12 and you're going to add your senses stat and any relevant specialty. So, for example, survival would probably be relevant. You would add that as well.
Oh boy.
Oh, 12! I got
six.
11 and a
Okay.
+1. So freaky.
So we got a 6 from Rebecca, a 12 from Tyler, and what did Spencer get?
Dr. Grabbles PhD got a 2.
Okay. So let's see. So a 12 is a success. So Truffles will notice something, and I'll mention that in a bit. Hannah got a 6, which means it's just like a failure. You fail at your action. You don't notice anything. A 2, however, from Dr. Grabbles PhD, that is a miserable failure. You fail and also get a negative repercussion from the GM. So let me look here. There might be some kind of... there's the thing called Game Changers, which is like a temporary effect that either negatively or positively affects your rolls. So I'm going to say that you are... maybe you were just like distracted, or maybe there was just like something in the air, maybe some residual pollution somehow like caught specifically in Dr. Grabbles PhD's nostrils. But you are a bit impaired in that you will take a net -3 on just the next roll you take.
Oof. Oh gosh, this pollution seems to affect creatures only like me. That we all know what I am.
Like no one else seems to be affected. Like there's, and again it's an enchanted forest. So anything can
It's
happen.
because I don't have
But-
lungs.
And I pull out my little maracas
Truffles-
and start playing my maracas.
So Truffles notices high up in the trees is a particularly colorful bird with a very with a curved, sharp beak.
Toucan Sam, is that you?
We don't have the rights to that
not a very
creature.
It's not a very big beak either. But when Truffles notices it, the bird kind of hops down onto the ground and stares at him and at Truffles, and then starts to kind of walk trot a little closer forward, a little closer, and sort of cock his head curiously.
Hi, Mr. Bird. Are you our friend? Are you up to top?
And the bird will sort of peck the air directly in front of Truffles' face, and it shrieks out, "Apatuta! Apatuta!"
Guys, I found Opportunity. We already solved the mystery.
Well,
And
don't
actually, and so this
think
of
this is a parrot, by the way, and the parrot starts to it seems like it seems rather aggressive towards Truffles. It seems to want to actively peck at him. So, I'm gonna say, oh gosh, my screen's going.
I'm gonna
weird.
blast him
There we
with
go.
some shroom magic.
Are you? All
If
right.
he's getting aggressive,
So this is going
I'm
to
gonna
be
blast him.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to take a peck or a bite out of you. So there's no initiative rolls per se in here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check.
Yeah,
here.
it's just kind of whatever makes sense.
It's whatever makes sense.
People want to do.
Yeah, so in situations when you might break down gameplay in individual turns, this can be decided on a purely narrative basis. So it's recommended that every participant has a turn to make an action roll before anybody goes again. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could do rolling for initiative if we wanted, but for right now, sounds like Mr. Truffles wants to do something. So go ahead.
With my magic, I will defeat Obtuta with my fungus fighting prowess.
So I'm going to use my fungus staff, and I'm going to summon a little spell with it, which is going to make spores that are bright purple that are just going to smash him in the face. Hopefully.
Okay, so this is just a purely attacking, aggressive kind of spores
Yeah,
thing.
so since it's magic, I have a Sporemancy skill, which is a +2, and then Brains, which is +2.
Okay.
So do I get out a +4 to that bad boy?
Yeah, certainly.
this is...
And then...
Another 11, so 15.
Okay, so 11. So this is an opposed action. So basically the parrot is going to roll against that, and we're going to compare the difference. And so the parrot's basically going to try to sort of defend against it. The parrot just has a defense of 2, basically, so I'm just going to add a +2 to this. Wait. Defense, is that just like...
I think that
So
must
you
be a
just-
specialty.
That's its limit, isn't it?
Oh. I don't know.
No, its limit is 1.
So defense is it in the specialties?
Oh, you're right.
or
Its limit
it-
is 1. Yeah, never mind. Let me double check. I think...
Its defense is 2 and its limit is 1.
Yeah, so I would just...
It does have a defense and an attack value.
Yeah, that's what these NPCs have. But I guess I was assuming that that defense was like a bonus to it, but I could be wrong. So I'm looking that up here.
I don't see anything with defense except for that one mention of it in the enemy creatures.
Yeah, I guess it really is just a okay.
My guess
And I
is
mean,
it
so-
probably is a reduction of damage. Because look, so if you are... Well, that actually would be really powerful too, because you do damage based off how many different successes there
The
are.
most amount of damage that you could possibly do is 4. in an opposed action anyway. And if a defense of a parrot, which is like the lowest form of foe, is 2, that's actually quite a lot. I could be wrong. This is certainly something I can bring up with Brad about what defense actually means, what the intent of that is, because whether it's like a reduction of damage or if it's a bonus that you take for its reaction rolls. Because I was kind of thinking that the attack would be its bonus to its attack rolls, and then the damage actually comes from the level of difference in the opposed actions.
I think it might be a bonus that you add to it.
I'm thinking it's a bonus we add to
I
it.
think
I'll
the
ask
bonus
Brad
would
about
be
it.
better because
they also don't.
Every other roll is D12 plus bonuses.
Yeah, and there isn't any other explanation. It doesn't provide any other statistics for a foe. So you don't have... Exactly. It's only defense or attack.
I'm talking to Brad right now, by the way, so I'm asking.
Cool. All right, so I'll treat it as a +2 to reaction rolls in defending something, an attack.
Yeah.
All right, so how much did Truffles get again?
15.
15, and the parrot actually rolled pretty high, got a total of 12. So the difference between the two is 5, which means that you, the attacker, succeeded, and the target receives 2 damage.
Yeah, what's up, nerd?
Which actually is more than its limit. Its limit is only 1, and once your limit reaches 0, then I'm gonna say, you can kind of decide based on the game and the GM and whatever. I'm gonna say for NPCs and monsters, limit reaching 0 means they're dead or just completely out of commission. For players, though, it means you're unconscious.
Okay, so I pull out my shroom staff, I whip it around and say, shroobity-bobbity-boo! And I turn him into a giant red mushroom.
Okay.
And that's how you do it, boys and girls.
Wow.
And then...
I don't understand exactly what just happened.
And then I begin to harvest the mushroom.
The mushroom.
Cut it open, just go very dark.
You all hear...
Slash and dash.
So yeah, you all hear some other kind of voice, not the parrot's voice, but some other voice nearby. And it seems to come from a tree, except it's not actually a tree. There's actually a person that kind of climbs out of a tree and has a lot of is sort of draped with leaves and twigs and everything, but they look very much like one with the plants. And he said, "Oh, what's this scuffle all about here?"
Nothing, don't worry, I'm just cutting up this mushroom.
There was some sort of exotic bird here, was there not?
There very well could have been an exotic bird at one point, but, friend, there's only us. There is a fox, a mushroom person, and me, Dr. Grabbles PhD. Exactly what you see before you.
I see. Well, any of you seen, any of you, I was going to say, if any of you come up against such a bird, I would tell you to thrash it immediately. It does not belong in this forest.
Who are you?
You don't recognize one of the forest druids of the enchanted forest,
I do not.
Is your name Abtuda?
No, I do not have such an abominable name. No, my name is, well, I have forgotten my original name, but my name now is Barum.
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 Sounds strong.
I like to think so.
Like an oak.
Were there any others like the bird? Or was the bird with others?
I dare say it is. I have been keeping my distance from the camp of belligerents upon the forest. That bird served the opportunity, I dare say.
Yeah, do you know where they are?
I do indeed, but like I said, I would keep my distance away from them.
Well, that's gonna be a problem because Melani told us we have to stop them.
Melani, she never was the most wise of academic sages in these parts.
Well,
If you, however, perhaps maybe through some sheer dumb luck, you may be able to solve the problem of the Apatuta upon the forest. Very well. If you wish to get closer to the Apatuta, I will show you the way directly, but I shall not accompany you further once you reach it.
How do you know where it is? You're just here all the time. You just stay in one place.
I do not stay in one place. I am a forest druid. What do you take me for?
Nothing.
It seems like you're a tree.
I am no tree. I am a forest druid.
All right, well,
Barum.
whatever you say, Barum, but you do you. Where is it?
is there a difference between a tree and a tree druid?
I said I'm a forest druid. Do not confuse forest for trees and vice versa.
How about a bush druid? Is there such thing as a bush druid?
I become acquainted with a few of those, yes.
So there are things that are as specific as a tree druid, but you're vaguer as a forest druid. Am I getting that right?
Precisely, you get it.
Are you more of a generalist, while the other ones are more specialized?
You understand, Barum.
I do understand what you're saying, but I don't understand what you're trying to mean.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't get it.
Thank
Let
you,
me take
Fox.
you to the Apatuta, and maybe the enchantments that are upon each of you can be dispelled in the process.
Oh no, I was born this way.
Follow me, if you please.
Well, that is what my parents also said to me as well. I feel right at home. Anyway, bring us to Master Tuta.
So Barum takes you deeper into the forest. As you continue, you realize that there seems to be less glitter in the air. In fact, after a certain point, small specks of the glitter are actually like black and gray as well.
Ew.
And don't give off any like reflective light at all. And he points forward to a clearing. You can't quite see like in the clearing yet, but he says, in that clearing is the Apatuta. You will have to confront them directly, and if you wish to resolve the issue of the forest. I highly doubt you will leave alive, but good luck to you. And he sort of like, as he sort of starts walking away, he starts muttering and something like, Melani always was too much of an optimist.
And while they've been walking, Hannah had just been like mumbling gibberish under her breath because she's still trying to get the counterspell down.
So you're at the edge of a clearing where apparently what you're looking for will be at, and actually here like the air is very thick with what feels like ash, and I'm going to say that for I'm going to say that for all of your rolls. Well, actually, for each of your next rolls, and this will count for the next 2 rolls for Spencer, you get a -3.
Ooh,
Anything?
that's
To
right.
your next D12 roll.
Also, Brad said that defense is like an addition to your roll. So exactly how you did it, Nick. So
So defense is a bonus two reaction
Yes.
two reaction rolls,
And
and
attack is
a bonus to opposed action rolls.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. That's great. I'm glad we could clear it up within the real time. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to move forward into the clearing?
Yeah.
You want to do something else?
I'm going right out there. I'm just
All right.
marching out.
Move forward.
Truffles.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try and
Shaking
use
his
my
rock.
senses.
What do you all see?
I want to be sneaky.
You want to be sneaky.
Whether or not the rest of them are going in guns blazing, I'm going in like I'm just a fox wandering around. No one paying
So if you
attention to
if
me.
you want to specifically be sneaky, then yeah, make a roll for it. I think
What-
it'll be based on your.
Agility?
It might be precision.
Precision? Let's look at
Doesn't
this.
matter. I've got the same stat in all of those. So
Because precision is more like, tasks that require deft and focus.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So what did you get?
I got a 6 plus 1
Did
plus
you?
3 minus 3
So you got a 6 total.
7.
7 total.
7.
6 plus 1 plus 3 minus 3.
So
That's
unfortunately,
7.
you are no more hidden than the rest of your compatriots.
Oh well, I
I'm-
tried.
I'm gonna.
So you won't get any bonus or whatever.
I'm gonna try and climb up a tree that's near the clearing to be able
Okay,
to
so I
get a
think this
view
will
to look
be-
around.
Climb a tree. This will be brawn.
Yes. Alright, so I got an 11 plus 2 is 13, minus 3 is 10.
Okay, excellent. You are, so this is a questionable success. You climb up, however, it, the air is more taxing on you than you realize. You're going to lose 1 point of limit.
Oh no! Oof, this air really is dangerous for a creature as grabbly as Dr. Grabbles PhD.
Okay. They don't want to do anything else before I describe what you guys see?
I already tried my thing and failed.
Okay, well, I guess I should ask Truffle. Did you want to do anything more, or should we continue?
No,
should I-
he's just walking out there. He's got his maracas out. He's just partying it up.
Yeah, I'm getting Hetsu vibes from Breath of the Wild here.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, imagine the front part of a sailing ship rising like half buried, rising from the ground or the waters or something. Now imagine the ship, instead of being made of well crafted and like watertight wood and whatever, is made of a hodgepodge of plants and branches and twigs and leaves and everything. It's like someone made a half buried ship shaped fort out of the forest. You see some small campfires around. You see about three humans figures around, and standing like at the top of the ship shaped structure, you see a captain. You see what appears to be some sort of self-important looking human man who has a very nice but old and worn jacket. The jacket has an argyle pattern on it. And at this point, he rings some kind of bell to call everyone to attention. He says, "Aye! Attention, if you please!" And all the mates are kind of scurrying up to hear this person's call and
Me
whatever.
too.
And
Well, you blend
wait,
in
you
with
actually
the
walk
ship.
up? Like you actually walk up with everybody else, or
I
just still where
line
you
up
are?
with all the other officers.
Okay. Anyway, so so this person says, "Now, welcome to another meeting of the Arbory Arsonist Pirates of the Order of the Argyle. I am pleased to see all of you here. Now, I have a bit of troubling news for all ye. My most beloved parrot, Aaron, has not returned at all. I sense something is afoot. Something is out to get the Arbory Arsonist Pirates of the Order of the Argyle. And we must put a stop to it. Are we agreed?" And everyone's just like, "Yeah!" And then when when Truffles shouts in his little distinctive voice, all the pirates stop and look down at Truffles.
Arr!
And who be ye, this little short stack I do see before me?
I'm Truffles.
That's an
I
explanation.
can see that. And what brings you here to the encampment of the Arbory Arsonist Pirates of the Order of the Argyle?
Well, you said to get in line, so I got in line.
Are you intending to join our ranks?
What do you guys do?
It is quite clear in the name, be it not?
What? Do you get some? You get some Argyle sweaters?
Aye, you like me Argyle leather jacket. It be a bit worse for the wear, but I do enjoy me diamond patterns and of course, we are the Arbory Arsonist Pirates of the Order of the Argyle.
So, what are you arsoning?
We are the Arbory Arsonist Pirates of the Order of the Argyle. We burn trees because that is in our name. That is our job. It is our purpose. It is what we are all here today to do. And everyone else just cheers.
Well, that sounds pretty thorough. Well thought. Well, how about what if we burn things not in the forest, huh?
Are you saying, Truffles, my lad, that there be something else on this world that is not the enchanted forest?
You could burn wood outside of the forest that's dead. Then you don't have anything bad happening, huh? You know?
And tell us, if you please, how to get out of this forest, for none of us have ever remembered entering or exiting this place. We cannot find an exit, we are trapped here, and so we are consigned to our fate, unless the only means of escape is to arsonize it. All!
Now that you say it, I don't even remember how I got here either.
Oh, I can show the way out. I can show.
And so, all heads turn to the talking fox. Do me eyes deceive me? I do see a fox yapping away.
I wouldn't say yapping, but I am a fox, and I was talking.
Well, if you be shooting the breeze, then shoot the breeze some more. What do you want?
I can help you get out.
Oh, really? And how do you propose to do that without burning the forest away?
With
We can walk out. We can walk out. It's not that bad.
And so I'm going to call him the captain. He jumps off from his vantage point, and he walks up to the fox. He kind of squats down. He's still above Hannah's eye level, but he gets closer and he says, "That sound like some enchanted trickery to me. What are you, a witch?"
Well, right now I'm just a fox.
Are you a witch or are you not?
Burn him.
Cursed fox.
Witches are good for burning.
I'm a cursed fox, okay?
You are a cursed fox, which means you must be a witch, yes?
What?
Only witches get cursed.
Clearly you haven't spent much time.
Can we be the...
I must say
I've
that
read books.
would it not be considered. Excuse me,
Only
Dr.
witches get
Grabbles
cursed.
PhD, as I loop myself down and lower myself
Oh,
down.
I see we have company.
Yes, I'm Dr. Grabbles PhD, but wouldn't you consider your situation rather cursed because you cannot get out? Therefore, by your own logic, you are all witches or warlocks.
And so
She looks at you and mouths, "Thank you."
and so the captain
Of
and the other
course,
pirates are
Fox. Oh,
And the captain and the pirates just sort
believe.
of look at each other, and then like kind of in bewilderment, and the pirate captain kind of like says, "You know, I have often been wondering how I'm able to cast fire with my own two hands. Perhaps I am a witch. I am a witch pirate. Yes. I do enjoy this development." And then with this, it's sort of like,
pirating on the ocean.
"What be the ocean? What this madness and trickery you talk about?"
What kind of pirate are you?
How do we even define pirates? This seems like this term has become quite vague.
Arbitrary.
Silence! And with that, he actually, he conjures a fireball with his hands. And, there are these threads that go between the diamonds on the Argyle pattern of the leather jacket. And they glow as he throws the fireball down on the ground right in front of Hannah. Not hitting her, but, right in front. Silence!
Careful, you almost burned Hannah. Oh, sorry. I don't want to give your actual name. You almost burned... Fox. Sorry, I couldn't think of anything. My PhD isn't in improvisation.
Hey, Captain, what if we did this? Instead of burning the forest, we could burn witches instead. And then you could be the Argyle Argonauts that burn witches.
Aye, but there be a problem. If we are witches, then that would sort of defeat the purpose, would it not?
They caught my loop.
Well, why don't we start?
I ain't a fool.
We could... It would definitely change the acronym of your name. And that wouldn't be a
Acronym?
bad thing.
What do you mean, what's wrong with our acronym? What is wrong with the acronym of the arbitrary arsonist pirates of the Order of the Argyle?
Well, it kind of
What's wrong with
stinks.
Aptitude.
It's kind of a mouthful.
Well, that's why you don't say the acronym. I don't know why my parrot spoke the acronym himself, but, that's why you say the whole grand name. All at once. All the words.
I don't even remember the name.
Ah, well, it is the arbitrary arsonist pirates of the Order of the Argyle.
Oh, sorry.
I'm
done
sorry,
saying
I
it.
forgot the
I
first
always
part.
fall asleep halfway through.
What's the second one?
Thank you. That's exactly what happened to me, Fox.
Do I need to say it again to drill it into your thick skulls?
To be quite
try.
honest, you've said it probably 12 times. Go ahead.
And I never get tired of saying that we are the arbitrary arsonist pirates of the Order of the
What if
Argyle.
you switch it to Arbory Aiders of the Argyle? Because then you'd be helping the forest. That could be good.
What? Well, we haven't done anything to the. We haven't done anything in the forest. We burned as many trees as possible, and still nothing happens. We've done nothing to
You're
this place.
killing
You're
it.
killing all
Actually,
of us.
I must say you are triggering my asthma. That's something quite bad. I'm not Arbery, so you burning me is against your existence.
Ooh, rough. Speak that truth, brother. Or sister, can't tell what you are.
Well, now that I know that this fire will be
Nothing.
magical, that gives me all the more reason to burn as many branches and as many trees and as many roots as I possibly can so we can get out of this place. And if you are going to stop it, then you will have to deal with me and the rest of the arbitrary arsonist pirates of the Order of the Argyle.
I'm sorry. Did he say the name again? It just when he says it just kind of goes. I don't hear
I
it.
hear R.
That's exactly what it sounds to me. It's just one big ah. I don't. It doesn't make sense. We're speaking the same language, but it just completely sounds
I don't
like
Are you
think we
making,
are.
are you making fun of us? Are you making fun of my
Is
organization?
your name a Tudor?
No.
I must also point out that if you have been burning trees for as long as you claim and it hasn't worked yet, why would it work now? Maybe you should try something
Because
different,
now
like walking.
my fire is magical.
It was always magical.
It's always been magical.
Well, I didn't know that until now.
Yes, but why
So
would
now
you
I can
expect
try
it?
again.
You're in...
Alright, try like one tree, and if it doesn't work, you gotta stop,
You're
bro.
hopeless.
This dedication
You
is...
look like a twig, Mr. Truffles.
I'm a mushroom, I'm not a tree.
Yeah, that was pretty offensive, dude.
Well, how about this then? Now that I know that my fire is magical, I will see if I can burn down this entire fort that we have. This wonderful ship. And then the rest of the crew are like, no, what are you doing? Not the
Here,
ship.
go for it.
No, not the ship.
Holy
And we are going
shit,
to
you would really do that?
And not just that, I'm going to have you three stand inside the ship. If you are confident that it will not burn, then
Oh
you
no,
will
I'm
be safe.
confident the ship will burn. It's the forest I'm questioning.
The ship is made out of
Cool, I'm gonna
stuff
go in
from
and
the
see you
forest.
guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, he
It's made out
does
of
seem
trees
to
and twigs.
really prove a point with this.
Okay, fine. I'll go in the ship.
I
Right.
feel completely convinced.
And so, like, all the three other, like, pirates are kind of, like, shouting, yeah, get in the ship, burn the witches.
Could we
and all
have
that
one
stuff.
of them come with us too? Just if you...
Me hearty crew?
Yes.
Don't you be ridiculous.
They're saying burn the witches, and if you're witches too, at least one of you ought to be in here with us.
Exactly.
You have a point. Jerry, get in the boat. What?
Oh, Jerry.
Get in the boat, I say.
Don't you have an idiot individual named Trent that perhaps could burn?
Trent is me first mate. What are you talking
Your
about?
first mate? Oh man, we gotta kill these guys now.
I'm sorry, sir, but if Trent is your first mate, you have a lot bigger issues than just getting out of the forest. That
You want to talk
person
about
is
bigger
probably
issues?
the
What about
reason
my
you're
cook?
stuck
What about
here.
my cook, Peter?
What? I spoke over you.
If you're talking about big issues, what about my cook, Peter, over here?
Peter?
Hi, guys.
That is one big Peter.
That's-
What have you been eating in here? Pies?
No response.
He's engorging himself right now.
Yeah, Big Peter just kind of shrugged and said, I just cook whatever I find. Cook leaves, cook some dirt maybe, sprinkle some sugar on that dirt. Tastes real good.
You have got to be the worst pirates I've ever had the mispleasure.
All right,
Let's go, Jerry. Let's go in the boat. Let's go, guys.
Everyone in the boat.
Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Jerry, get back here. And Jerry like, woohoo! Trent, me first mate. If I am going to put my money where your mouth is, I'm going to put my first mate in there. So Trent, you get in there. And Trent is like, oh, come on, man.
So we're agreed that we're going to kill this guy as soon as we're out of eyesight, right?
So you all can go in. You all can go into the. So you three and Trent walk into the fort, and you get out of sight. And you can also hear the captain outside saying, "All right, I will be throwing me fireball on the count of 3. R1, R2.
Did you throw it yet?
R3, and you hear a, and it slams against the outside wall. And I think we're going to stop there.
And now we're gonna murder Trent and say it was heat exhaustion or something.
Hey, Erica. Hey, Danny. Hey. I'm looking for a podcast to listen to, a new one. I want it to stimulate me intellectually, and I want to learn something from it.
Right.
And I want to feel smart when I listen to it.
Well, put your adventure backpack on and keep hiking. This is not the one for you.
Really?
Yep, not at all. Not at
This
all.
ain't the one.
Nope. Keep looking.
Okay, well, what if I want to laugh at terrible literature,
Check.
be tortured by the ghosts of my past,
Check.
and fall in love with creativity?
Double check. I think we might have found the perfect fit.
Okay, great. All right.
Yeah.
What's the show?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Danny. It's called Grow Out of It, a podcast about laughing at, learning from, and loving our creative childhood selves.
Ah, I love that show.
Yeah.
I'm a host on that show.
How did you know? Wow. This took a dark turn. Do you have amnesia? Should I?
Necropodicon. Hard to pronounce, easy to listen.
I'm having a marvelous day.
Dun, da, 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 da.